A long time ago, in the great kingdom of Bani, this great kingdom, with rich traditions and powerful warriors, was ruled by the wise and just king, known as King Kwame. His reign had brought peace and prosperity to his people. The king had 3 beautiful daughters. They were the pride of the land. The eldest daughter, Princess Zara, was known for her wisdom and fairness. Her beauty was matched only by her kind heart, and she was loved by all. The second daughter, Princess Mandisa, was the bravest among them. She was often found training with the warriors. His youngest daughter, Princess Leila, was different. While she was just as beautiful as her sisters, there was a fire in her eyes, a burning ambition that none could quench. As the years passed, it became clear that the king's time on the throne would soon come to an end. According to the laws of Bani Kingdom, the crown would pass to the eldest daughter unless she declined. In that case, the crown would go to the next in line. The king had always believed that his first daughter, Princess Zara, would take the throne because she had always been groomed for leadership since birth. Mandisa had never shown much interest in the throne. Instead, she preferred the life of a warrior. But Leila, the king's last daughter, had so much love for power. Though she was the youngest, but she has always harbored a secret desire to rule. A desire that grew stronger with each passing day. One night, Leila lay awake in her bed, unable to sleep. Her mind raced with thoughts of power, and the thought of her sister Zara ascending the throne filled her with envy. She knew that as the youngest, she would never be considered for the crown unless something drastic happened to her older sisters. As the moonlight shined through her window, an idea began to take root in her mind. A dark and dangerous idea. Leila's ambition was stronger than her love for her sisters. And she made a fearful decision that night. She will do whatever it takes to ensure that she and not Zara or Mandisa would become the next ruler of Bani Kingdom. The next day, Leila began her plan. She knew that she had to act carefully, for her sisters were both intelligent and strong. But she was cunning, and she had a talent for deception. She started by sowing seed of doubt and discord between her sisters, skillfully playing on their differences and insecurities. She whispered rumors and half-truths, causing tension to rise between the two sisters. Days turned into weeks, and the once close bond between Zara and Mandisa began to fade. They argued more frequently, blaming each other for every small mistake. Leila watched with satisfaction as the rift between them grew wider, knowing that her plan was slowly taking effect. One fateful night, Leila decided to put the next phase of her plan into action. She invited Zara and Mandisa to a secret meeting in the sacred bush where their late mother normally take them to communicate with her ancestors before she died. She told them that she had received a vision from the gods, a vision that would reveal which of them was destined to rule. The two sisters, desperate for clarity and peace, agreed to meet their little sister in the forest. They arrived at the appointed hour. The moon was hidden behind dark cloud. As they stepped into the forest, they saw Leila standing by the ancient tree. "I have seen the future," Leila said, her voice low and filled with lies. "The gods have spoken to me. They have shown me a way to determine who among us should take the throne. Her sisters listened carefully as they both looked at each other without saying a word. Layla continued, explaining that the gods had instructed her to prepare a sacred potion, one that would reveal the true heir. But the truth is that the potion was not a gift from the gods. It was a deadly poison extracted from the most dangerous plants in the forest. She handed the potion to each of them. "Drink and let the gods decide our fate," she said, her voice steady despite the anger within her heart. Zara took the cup but didn't drink it. Her inner mind kept warning her not to drink. But Mandisa, without wasting time, took the cup and drank everything, determined to face whatever the gods had in store for her. Zara, seeing how determined Mandisa was, decided to drink hers too, though with more caution. Few minutes later, both sisters began to feel the effects of the poison. Mandisa was the first to fall. Her strength started fading away from her body. As she fell on the ground, Zara, realizing too late that she would have listened to the warnings of her mind, started crying as she tried to reach out to Layla, but her arms were heavy and her vision dim. "Why?" Zara said with a low tone and a weak voice. Layla stood there watching her sisters dying, with tears flowing down from her eyes. But her mind remained firm without a single thought of regret. She responded to Zara's question, with her voice trembling. "For the crown. I did all this for the crown. I am sorry, my dear big sister, but I cannot let you take what I desire most. I want to be the next queen of the great Bani kingdom. And the only way to achieve that is to get you both out of the way." Zara looked at Layla and whispered to her with a very weak voice, "You shouldn't have done this, little sister. You shouldn't have done this." After saying these words, she gave up, joining Mandisa, who died few minutes after consuming the poison. Layla, now alone in the forest, was left with the weight of her actions. She had achieved what she set out to do, but at a terrible cost. The blood of her sisters was on her hands. And though she had secured the throne, she would never be free from the guilt that now consumed her. When the people of Bani heard about the death of Zara and Mandisa, they were devastated. King Kwame was heartbroken by the loss of his beloved daughters. He grew weak with grief. Few months later, he presented Layla as the next queen, for there was no one else left to take the throne. But the kingdom was never the same after that. A year later, the king died and Layla became queen. But her reign was marked by sorrow and unrest. The people accepted her as their ruler, but they could sense the darkness that surrounded her. They gossiped about the tragedy that had befallen the royal family, though they did not know the full truth. But they suspected that Layla's rise to power had been polluted by betrayal. Years later, Layla ruled Bani Kingdom with a firm hand, but the weight of her guilt never left her. She would often visit the sacred forest where her sisters had died, seeking forgiveness from the spirits of the land. But the echoes of Zara's last words haunted her every day. Though she wore the crown, but it brought her no joy. She knew that she had paid the ultimate price for her evil ambition. She was the queen, surrounded with servants and the people of her kingdom. But deep down, she was lonely and abandoned. No man had ever shown any interest in her. She had no friends, husband, or children. Her only company was guilt and regret. Though the truth never came out, but the torture of the crime she had committed proved to the whole kingdom that she was hiding something big, so big that it has eaten her up deeply. Layla became so weak that she couldn't come out to address the people. On a fateful afternoon, when she knew she couldn't carry on again, she called the elders and confessed all her crimes. As soon as she was done talking, she died. The elders couldn't believe that a sister could go that far just for power. Her body was taken to the evil forest. She was not mourned or given a proper funeral. And so, the story of the king's last daughter became a cautionary tale in Bani Kingdom. A story told to remind the people of the dangers of unchecked ambition and the terrible cost of betrayal. Layla may have become the queen, but in the end, she lost far more than she gained. Alright guys, this brings us to the end of the story of the king's last daughter. Please drop your comments and tell us what you think about the story. What is the moral lesson in the story? Drop your comments and let us know. And don't forget to subscribe for more interesting videos. Also turn on the bell so you'll be notified whenever I post a new video. Thank you. See you guys in my next video. Bye for now.